All right, so I am going to use shading. If you don't have something to shade with, please just do hash marks. So we're going to label our base. So in our rectangular prism, any of the faces can be bases. Because to be a base, it has to have a parallel face. And so any one of the rectangles of a rectangular prism can be a face because all of them, or excuse me, a base because all of them have parallel faces. The same is not true of a triangular prism. Do y'all have a tardy slip?
No.
Is there a reason that you're tardy?
Yeah, I was in the gym getting my backpack.
All right, both of you go down and get one. Put your stuff on your desk and go get a tardy slip. All right, and so these are our bases. And then that makes all of the other ones our lateral faces. And so in our triangular prism, you have to use the triangles as your bases. In all other prisms, everything except a rectangular prism, the shape that names the prism has to be the base because they are the only faces that have a parallel face. The rectangles do not have a parallel face, so the triangles have to be the bases. And almost never is a triangular prism sitting on its base. Usually the base is facing you. And so the triangles are our base, and then that makes the rectangles our lateral faces. I can hear somebody's music. If I can hear your music, it is too loud. And I would prefer it if you turned it off while I'm giving notes so that you can listen. All right, and so the formula for lateral area, again, all lateral area means the sum of the lateral faces. That's what we have learned, but there's a formula for it. The lateral area can be found by finding the perimeter of the base and multiplying by the height. So capital P times H. And capital P means the area, does not, it means the perimeter of the base. And so when you see a capital P, it means perimeter of the base. Please write that down. And then our total area, the formula is, like yesterday, you bring down the lateral piece, and then you add to it the two bases. And so that's 2 times the area of the base, capital B. And so our capital B is equal to the area of the base. And in a triangular prism, the base is a triangle. So let's remind ourselves how to find area of a triangle. So area of a triangle formula is base times height divided by 2, right? So you might want to write that down at the top of your notes to remember that that's how you find area of a triangle. And then the volume. To find volume of a rectangular prism, remember it was length times width times height. Length times width, though, gives you the area of the base, yes? And so the formula is area of the base times height. And in the formulas for prisms, the H height is the distance between the bases. And I point that out because so often students misunderstand and think that the height is from the bottom to the top of the prism. And as this one sits, that is not the height. The height is the distance between the bases. Here, my base is at the bottom, my other base is at the top. So here, the height is from top to bottom. But here, my bases are not top to bottom. My bases are front to back. So the height of this prism is the distance from the front to the back. And so H represents the distance between the bases. Make sure you write that down. I apologize for my handwriting. That's horrible. Can y'all read that? All right, so we're going to do, oh dang, I used the wrong paper. We're going to use these formulas on both of these. And I did the work for this lateral and total like yesterday here. You don't have to write all this down. This is what we did yesterday. And now we're going to apply the formula so that I can prove to you that they both ways do in fact work for rectangles. So lateral area is perimeter times height. And then, so the first thing I want us to do is find the P, the B, and the H, because those are the things we need for our formulas. So the P is the perimeter of the base. So in this rectangular prism, the base is shaded. How do I find the perimeter of that rectangle? 8 plus 6 plus 8 plus 6, which is 28. And then I'm going to find the big B by finding the area of that base. Area of the base is length times width, and 8 times 6 is 48. And then the height of the prism is 2. And notice it's the only number we haven't used yet. That's also a helpful hint. It's the number you have not used to calculate these two things. And so now we have all of the things we need for all of those formulas. So lateral area formula is perimeter times height. My perimeter is 28. My height is 2. So 28 times 2 is all you do, and 28 times 2 is 56, which matches this answer, which is what we did yesterday. This is how we would have solved that yesterday. So both work. The total area, we bring down what we have for lateral, and then we add to it 2 times the area of the base. And so 56 plus 2 times the big B is 48. And put that in your calculator, and so the total area equals
104.
I think it's higher than that. Isn't it 152?
Yeah.
Thank you. And again, that matches what I did yesterday, or what we would have done yesterday. And then volume. Volume is area of the base times height. So we have a big B is 48, and a height is 2. So 48 times 2. And 48 times 2 is 96. So we have a lateral of 56, a total of 52, and a volume of 56. All right, so now we will apply that to the triangular prism. And I'm going to tell you this distance right here is 8. So please draw that in. I forgot to do that. So draw that in. Just pick up where we are. All right, so I'm going to shade the base. Remember, the base of a triangular prism is always the triangle. And then we're going to start by finding a capital P, a capital B, and an H. So the capital P is the perimeter of this triangle. And so this triangle, what numbers will I use for the perimeter? 10, 10, and 12. So 10 plus 10 plus 12 is 32. To find the area of that triangle, I use its base and its height. So I'm just looking at the triangle, not the prism. So the base is 12, the height is 8, and then I have to divide that by 2 because it's a triangle. So 12 times 8 divided by 2 is 48. And then what is the height of the prism? Again, hint, it's the number we haven't used yet. 4. These are all the numbers you need now to plug into the formula. So the lateral area formula is perimeter times height. So you plug in 32 for P and 4 for H and multiply those together. And what is 32 times 4? 128. Total area, you take the lateral area that you just got and you add to that the area of both bases, the area of both triangles. That was so 2 times the base, so that becomes 2 times 48. So 128 plus 2 times 48. So that's a B, not an 8. What is 128 plus 2 times 48? 224. And then volume is big B times H. Our big B is 48. Our H is 4. Multiply those together, and what do you get? $192. And then this is a triangular prism. And today's assignment is all triangular prisms. So I'm going to pass out the assignment. I'm going to do the first one with you because I'm sure there are some of us that still aren't quite sure how to do it. If you are sure and you've got it, you may work. But I am going to do one with you. Yes, sir. Rectangular prism. Yes. Rectangular prism. You feel like you're good? You can go. All right, so if you're not 100% sure you are good, then please follow along. If you have one good example on your paper, I feel like you can move forward. So the first thing I'm going to have you do is write the formulas here down the side on number 1. Lateral area formula is capital P times H. Total area formula is capital P times H plus 2 times the big B. And then the volume formula is big B times H. And then right here, I want you to find the P, the B, and the H. If you will do this, it will make solving this part so much easier. So the capital P is perimeter of the base. And I do not know why the rectangle is shaded here. I cannot explain that because that rectangle is not the base. So I'm very frustrated. Number 1 and number 5 both do that. I cannot explain why. It does not make sense. The bases have to be the triangles. So this is your base. And so perimeter of that triangle. How do you find perimeter of that triangle? You add 10, 10, and 12. I think that's the same as the one from the notes. That's 32. And then we find the area of that triangle. And so it's 12 times 8 divided by 2 because area of a triangle is base times height of the triangle divided by 2. So we're ignoring the rest of the prism. Base of the triangle 12, height of the triangle 8 divided by 2. So 12 times 8 divided by 2. What is that? 48. And the height of the prism is the distance between the triangles, and it's the number we haven't used. So it is 14. Now that you have those numbers, all you're doing is plugging those numbers in place of the letters that are here in these formulas. So lateral area is capital P times H. What is our capital P?
32.
32. What is our H? And you're just multiplying. So 32 times 14 is?
448.
448. We go to our total area. We bring down what we have for our lateral because those two pieces are the same. And then we add to that 2 of the big B's. And so 448 plus 2 times 48. Camden, are you really not following along, sweetie? I'm giving you answers. Say again. 544. And then volume is area of the base times height, big B times H, which is 48 times 14, which is 672. So lateral 448, total 544, volume 672. And then you don't have to name them. They're all triangular prisms. They're all triangular prisms, so you don't have to name them. But it does say show your work to get credit, just like yesterday. So show your work. This is the work I expect to see. And if you will take a moment and find the P, the B, and the H before you get started, this is easy. So the hardest part in my mind is the area of the triangle. It's the hardest thing here, is finding the area of the triangle. Because perimeter, you just add sides. All right, that's easy. It's base times height divided by 2 of the triangle, though, to find the area of the triangle. So I'll leave that there for you to see. Be sure you're working. If you need help, please stop me and ask. Cadence, did you get your makeup working?
Okay, so this is the height. Oh, this is the base part? Oh, that's what I meant, that's what I meant.
Because the height is the distance between cases. I said that, I put that in a note, but you weren't listening, so you missed it. So I have a goal setting to do next tomorrow. We have our teacher meeting. I have to set a goal. My goal is going to be to maintain my sanity. I lost my sanity a little bit yesterday.
Here we go.
But, to maintain my sanity, I am not going to continue to maybe not give to those who refuse to participate.
Oh, am I like
So,
Yeah, you most definitely
you
are.
better make sure that you're doing what you need to be doing.
Yeah, you were. Dakota was here yesterday.
And my class is the only class that you don't like absent in.
It's your perimeter times the height.
Yeah, I was in the gym. Or, not the gym, there.
So I submitted your name to the assistant principal.
What does that mean?
I let her know that you were not here. That's what I mean.
Hey, your thing's still recording, by the way.
Yo, Felipe, weren't you here yesterday too?
They're perpendicular.
Oh, you're a bitch ass.
Yes. Days and nights are always perpendicular.
Okay.
Bad, dude.
Yes, it is possible for a number of.
What you do yesterday too? What?
Yes, and especially since the perimeter is 30 and the base is 30.
Yeah, I know, but she
Because
didn't
the
say something
perimeter,
and you
you're
showed us
looking
it
at
to
the perimeter times height and volume,
He's a
you're
big
doing
target.
base times height, but the base and the perimeter.
She said she checked all of our classes and he was in there except
Wait, so you doing that, like, am I gonna get in trouble or something?
I don't know. It's out of